And now, please welcome Kaspar JANCIS. Hello, Kaspar. How are you this morning?
Good.
Good.
We have good different juices and
Yeah.
water. Water especially is very good today.
You are a musician yourself, and a little bit, no?
A little bit, yeah.
And you've made a film called Piano, with a piano as almost the main character of the film.
Actually, you were right about
Yeah.
if there is a main character, the piano is the main character. Yeah. So, but it's not like so much connected to my love to music. So it's more like there was like some situation which inspired me to make the story. You know, I just wanted to create some kind of something, like kind of mosaic type of story where a different story meet together, and I wanted to have something which is like kind of holding it together. So I was thinking, why not a person like carrying a piano on the street, which I have done myself also. So it started from there. Yeah.
A piano is a strange object because it is at the same time an incredible burden and a symbol of a cultural symbol, a strong cultural symbol. So for you, what was a piano originally?
For me, I was trying to have a certain kind of pattern to all the stories, which is like being stuck. So it's like all the characters are stuck in somehow, emotionally, physically. So pushing a piano for me, that the woman is stuck to somewhere in the, but I needed to. Piano was because of the ending mostly, because I wanted to have some kind of lifting up ending that the piano starts to play like by itself. So that was the, I didn't think very much symbolically in that sense, actually. It was just good element to make, and it's also like kind of weird or like creates a bit like bizarre, like twisted atmosphere that, somebody's pushing a piano in the street. It's always something, like it gives a attention,
Is the sound is something very important for you when you work at a film? Do you hear the sound when you draw, as an example, or?
Yeah, in this film I was really thinking about sound because pushing the piano, when I was myself pushing the piano on the street, it was like, like all these sounds, they really, and I think it could be the rhythm of the film, like that. At first place, when the first drafts, even it was more music type, because the beep, cars, vroom, vroom, piano, and it was whatever. Then you can imagine yourself the other possibilities. But really, I wanted the first place to make it more rhythmical, even that everything is like in this, that something is stuck, something wants to go but can't. But then the story, I had to make a sacrifice. If I make more like this rhythmical film, or if I make a story that I want to tell. So I skipped it. It was too complicated to make it too rhythmical, like that.
Okay.
So, but you were right. That's the beginning was very sound-based, actually. The idea, I was really thinking about sound in the first drafts. Yeah.
Okay. Questions from the audience? Martin?
Hi. If none of us had a catalog for the film or any information about who had made the film, this film would obviously have been Estonian, right? I think anyone in the audience would know that it came there. And I think some of that had to do with the macabre humor, the timing, the art design, and so on. I wondered if you had worked on other collaborators' films. I'm saying this as a compliment, you know, because I like the Estonian style, but I was wondering if there had been collaboration with other Estonian animators.
Well, actually, this is also like there is some mark of a Latvian hand in this film. So Vladimir was working as a background designer for that film. So it's not.
Okay.
There is not only Estonian. Already in this film is a co-production, international.
Okay.
But if it comes to the style, you know, well, I don't think it is just, you know, you can. There is like, for example, Roy Andersson, Jacques Tati, different type of stories which are similar to this film. Mm-hmm. I think my inspiration is outside Estonia mostly. I think the biggest
and outside animation too.
And outside animation. So it's like I think biggest influences in this film is Roy Andersson and Jacques Tati, Ottavio Celiani, all these type of filmmakers who make these mosaic stories, you know, that, or, you know, Milos Forman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is like early days, for example. So I really wanted to because I really love this kind of style without main character type of stories that you are kind of observing something from the distance, not too connected to the characters, just more like observing them from the distance and, you know, like sitting on the viewer is on the park bench and trying to guess what this guy doing there, you know, why she is like, or why she's pushing this piano, where she's going. But I don't really also know why she's doing the things, because I'm kind of observing my characters. So it's like observation, tragic comical style, you know, like.
Yeah, I can see those influences.
Dernière question, monsieur.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering, because the film is so complex script-wise and the writing, and that's these intricate stories which intertwine perfectly at certain points of the film really impressed me, and I always struggle with this aspect of filmmaking. So I was wondering, was it a long process for you, or does it come more natural, or do you have experience from before in this kind of script writing?
Yeah, well, if it comes to my films, that I think it was my second film was called Marathon. So there was already started with the same idea of having like kind of, but Marathon was more like crazy comedy. It's like it had less kind of this seriousness or tragic inside. But for me, it's like I'm making a carpet. It's like I really enjoy the process of script writing. Actually, yeah. My teacher said me once that, Kaspar, you are a good director, but you are a shitty script writer. But now I'm yeah. Then that made me a little bit. Well, I show you who is a good script writer. So I think I'm enjoying now mostly script writing actually. It's like, yeah, but it's really, for me, it's very, the emotions comes later to the film. First, I try to figure out, I think there is a good structure. There is really good, some rhythms. I can create some rhythms. I can make some combination. And then you start to, okay, and it takes time. You know, even like when I started to make piano, I didn't have even storyboard. I had like one A4 with some little marks that only I understood. And then just because I'm working, and actually I was working parallelly, I'm doing at the moment directing a feature film, stop motion, something completely different. So I had to do like 2 films at the same time. So I was traveling like with a bicycle in this studio and the other studio. It was crazy time, but I changed something really like already you're editing, thinking, oh, no, I have to connect these two. And sometimes the solution's really under your nose, you don't see it. You try to make something more tricky, but you kind of, and one point you say, oh, if I cut this, everything is okay, you know? So that was, in this film, I think I took a risk to fail, actually. Because I was trying to do also the film which is less like, I wanted to make film which is a subtle, kind of like very honest and very subtle and not very provoking also. That it will be like kind of film about ordinary things, you know, that you kind of have very ordinary things, like very like practical things which create something bigger after, you know. So I was trying to hold back the ideas that to get it like subtle, little bit sardine, you know, under sardine. It's just, that's why it's called piano also. It's like playing silently.
Not so loud, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Kaspar.
Thank you.